How you all doing? My name's Andrew, or Clyde LRF. I hail from Gourock on the Clyde estuary in the west of Scotland. I'm a multi-species angler. I've been fishing for about 2 years now, so still kind of feeling the way. Currently on 44 species, 37 of those were caught in the Clyde itself. So I just picked up this action camera, and this is my first session, just to kind of get to grips with the camera. So hopefully as time progresses I'll be a bit more familiar with what is or isn't in frame. But yeah, enjoy. So you're joining me today on a spot on the Firth of Clyde, although it looks a little bit Chernobylish, believe it or not. We're going to head down to a little harbour here where I'm going to hopefully hunt down a sand goby for my species hunt. So it does look like people have created access to this pier. I'm not going to bother, it's pretty windy today. I've got light braid, not really getting any kind of heavier weights, so I am probably just going to be fishing. Hopefully it's not going to be too windy here in audio, but this little jetty here, relatively clean on the bottom there, so that's where I'm kind of hoping the sand goby is going to be at. Just a wee view of the river, looking upriver towards, well, Dunoon here. That's the Clough Lighthouse in the distance, heading round there up towards Gourock and Greenock, Port Glasgow and Glasgow eventually. Up here we've got the Holy Loch Long dead ahead, so really nice spot. But yeah, I wouldn't mind trying on that pier sometimes. This is the problem with some piers on the west coast of Scotland. Typically either commercialised to the point that you just can't get on them, or they're fenced off, not very fishing friendly. Some of them are completely derelict as well, so you kind of, it's at your own peril. But yeah, let's get down there and see what's up. Okay, so we're just going to start off under this pier here. There's just a wee small school of fish swimming about underneath it there. But basically, generally this kind of sandy area under here, going to give it a try because definitely seen the gobies moving about on there before, so let's get down here. Okay. So seeing the bigger gobies kind of cutting about down there just now, I think those are just black gobies, so we'll try and avoid them if we can because we're after a sand goby. Just bumping it along the bottom here with the little split shot and a small section of pink isomi. Struck too early. There's quite a few gobies moving around down there. Seem to be relatively central in that sandy spot there, so okay, there's one, and I think we might have just got our target. Sick. Yeah, I believe that's a sand goby. I mean, there's a bunch of like, there was painted gobies down there. I've had one just recently. This might just be a large painted goby though. We'll have to see. I'm always suck with these small gobies. Let's get a wee photo of this one though. So this is pretty chunky actually. He's like a good 7-8 centimetres. I think this might be our sand goby. Let's get a wee photo of him. So we can double check him later and get a proper identification. But I think it might well be our sand goby that we were after. Pretty cool. Right, let's get this chat back. Sick. So first fish in the bag. We've got a lot of these guys, I don't know if you can see them on camera here, cutting about. And there's a bunch of them swimming around the rocks here. Oh, I thought at first they might be two spot, but not totally sure. I think before I move on to casting out into the little harbour here, I might have another wee crack at what else is down here, because let's see. It gets a bit rockier further in, so maybe just need to watch it and get hung up here, but there is a possibility of something else. Earlier in the summer, doing very similar to what I'm doing just now, I actually noticed, I thought it was gobies or potentially just sand gobies chasing it. It turned out to be common gobies and painted gobies chasing the lure, very small ones. And I just seen something very strange coming out from under the rock, and it went straight onto the lure, and it turned out to be a clingfish. Now at the time I thought it was just a Connemara, which I'd had before on a couple of occasions, so stupidly didn't take like photos with it with my species card and stuff, and later identification with the help of Scott Hutchison of Something Fishy Going On blog, which I'll link below, turned out it was actually a small-headed clingfish, so you just never know. Clyde's kind of good at throwing up some wild cards. But yeah, Scott's been a big help for identifying different species for me when I'm not sure, especially these smaller ones. He's got a really good knowledge to tap into. There we go. This is smaller. I think this time it might be one of those little painteds I caught last time. Maybe not. Looking like another sand goby. Yeah, pretty certain that's a sand goby. Just the features of its head. Let's get him in the tank. Have a closer look. So there he is. Little tiny guy. So I think this is a sand goby. We'll get a wee picture of him along with my species hunt card and check him out later on, see what he is. I think it was a wee blenny there, but I spooked him. He's away under this rock. Ah. Hey, oh, shit. But I hadn't set the hook there and he just took it and fell off on the rock. Yes, after this, the rocks and the rock pools, there's not very many deep rock pools in the kind of Clyde area on the river. It's all quite shallow, but yeah, it was a bit of a bust, so just headed up to Greenock just for maybe another half hour or so before I had to call it quits, just to see what else we could get. So this area is a bit wastelandy. It takes us down to a kind of scrubby bit of shore here. It's a pier I like to fish underneath, a bit of structure underneath it. This area was traditionally quite heavily just shipyards, really. There's some rabbits up there actually. Bring my dog down here sometimes, she typically chases them. But yeah, used to be old shipyards. Now it's just kind of wastelandy down onto the shore in Greenock. So this is a class spot for LRF a whole variety of different mini species underneath the pier. I think last time I was there, the only goby, kind of typical goby, I've not had underneath it is a leopard spotted goby, but we've had 2 spot sand gobies, common painted black gobies as well. So there we go. It's a little corkwing mast. Nice wee things. Back you go. That's a little skirt. Yeah, nice little long spine. So after this one, that was pretty much the end of the session. Really the objective was to get out for a couple of hours with the camera and try and record my first session. We were able to get that sand goby pretty early on, which was grand, so another one towards the Angling Trust species hunt that I've been doing this year. So yeah, basically the next videos are really just going to be kind of laid back videos of each of the sessions. Sometimes I fish little and often, so it might be, you know, a kind of combination of some sessions throughout the week for an hour here or there. But yeah, just to kind of document the sessions. Hopefully I'll catch something interesting. Any questions about the gear I'm using at LRF, just drop questions in the comments.